We knew the renewal had happened because they briefed it to People magazine in America. Not going to actually rub anyone's noses in it. They've renewed their wedding vows and that's it. Initially, there was this view, certainly taken by the Beckhams, that hang on, they're being quite classy here. They're not going to release any pictures. They're not
the vow renewal land.
We just see this barrage of photos.
But I mean, the Beckhams aren't there.
It was like, whoa, nobody expected this.
Brooklyn has basically just, in so many words, said, "You are no longer a part of my marriage."
David and Victoria were furious in May when Brooklyn did not wish his grandfather, Tony, a happy birthday. That's Victoria's father.
"You're Not My Son" blew up the internet, and tonight we crack open the Beckham-Peltz power play. From a no Beckham vow renewal to yacht deck PDA, I'm dropping the timeline, the receipts, and the moves that rewrote the family narrative in real time. Stay to the end. One savage Proxy post flipped the script and might have just made Brand Beckham untouchable. August 2, Brooklyn and Nicola renew vows. Peltz family present, no Beckhams visible. Weeks later, a new report says David and Victoria are closer than ever, and yacht PDA backs the vibe. What's confirmed? Date, photos, who's shown versus rumor, estrangement, quotes. Why Brand Beckham may even strengthen under pressure, and how toxic family Proxy posts shifted public sentiment. One key debunk stays. The viral "You're Not My Son" line remains unverified. If your family name were a brand, would you protect it or your peace? Comment one word: brand or peace. What flips a picture-perfect family into an open rift? Start with what's confirmed. On August 2, 2025, Brooklyn Peltz Beckham renewed their vows. People reported the event, and the couple posted photos themselves. Those images clearly show Peltz family members. Reporting also noted no visible attendance from David or Victoria. That's the narrow band of certainty. Everything else, who was invited, who declined, who said what, remains unverified. In public-private dramas, facts often hide in plain sight. Dates, captions, and who appears in the frame build from that bedrock. Before reacting, separate on-record posts and press from claims attributed to unnamed insiders. The loudest evidence is often silence. Instagram omissions, no Beckhams in the renewal photos, no same-day family congrats, fueled total estrangement talk. But absence of a face in a grid is not evidence of a legal or permanent break. Meanwhile, Nicola continued sharing images from the day and later turned off comments as backlash grew. An unsurprising moderation step when sentiment sours. The trap is reading platform behavior like sworn testimony. It isn't. Keep your inference light, provisional, and paired with primary confirmations. Treat social silence as a weak signal and wait for on-record statements or cross-verified reports before upgrading confidence. Imagine discovering your son's vow renewal online while headlines track your Italian summer. Around the same window, David and Victoria were photographed showing PDA on a family yacht trip along the Amalfi-Portofino coast, joined by their younger kids. Those images projected unity and calm, and they landed just as renewal chatter peaked. In modern celebrity story economics, whoever frames first often wins the narrative week. Controlled disclosure or forfeit framing. When evaluating a public family dispute, chart the media calendar, posts, trips, releases alongside the claims. Timing often explains the tone far better than speculation. Did anyone actually say, "You're not my son"? There is no on-the-record attributable source for that line from a reputable outlet. Most pieces repeated as viral gossip without a named speaker, audio, or official statement. Separately, mainstream coverage has pushed back on absolutist no-context storylines, reminding us that extreme claims often outrun the verified record. I cannot confirm this. Treat sensational, unattributed quotes as fiction until a credible outlet publishes a verifiable, on-record source, name, audio, or statement. You can check yourself. Families fight. Brands don't forgive easily. A recent report claims a source says David and Victoria are closer than ever, and the yacht PDA images support a public unity frame, but closer than ever remains anonymous sourcing. The brand layer, fashion, sport, endorsements, documentum, thrives on consistent optics. The human layer may still hurt. Two realities can coexist. Log what's verified, the PDA photos, the trip, who appears, and clearly label what's sourced or anonymous, the closer than ever assertion. Don't collapse optics and feelings into one certainty, however tidy that narrative might seem. Follow the incentives, not the noise. Around the renewal, people ran multiple items: confirmation of the August 2nd ceremony, exclusive comments, fashion and after-party details. That signals coordinated storytelling from the couple's side, not random chaos. Attention drives engagement, engagement drives opportunity. Headlines accelerate when there's material to promote. When a celebrity narrative heats up, check who is supplying primary materials: photos, interviews, exclusives, and when they drop. That timing often reveals a strategy at work, and strategy explains more than scandal ever will. Proxies escalated the narrative. A close friend publicly labeled the Beckham family toxic, and coverage noted Brooklyn liked a supportive comment under the vow renewal post. That's on-platform speech, but it's still one-sided and emotionally charged. Friends defend friends. That doesn't make their version neutral or complete. Proxy claims can widen the battlefield without adding verifiable facts. Weigh what you can see directly, posts, captions, who appears, against what others say about the people involved. Keep proxy commentary in a low-confidence bucket until it's corroborated by primary statements or consistent behavior over time. After the renewal, Nicola shared more family photos and eventually switched comments off as backlash surged. That's classic sentiment management. Control the message, limit the pile-on, move the story forward. Comment settings are a dial, not a confession. Creators use them to cap volatility, especially when a post becomes a lightning rod. Read it as a PR move designed to de-escalate, not as evidence for or against any private relationship. If you're analyzing a feud, treat moderation choices as context around a post's reception, not as proof of intent, guilt, or estrangement. A vow renewal isn't just romance, it's messaging. Having Nicola's father officiate and hosting a star-heavy afterparty reads like a public statement about where the couple's center of gravity sits now. Milestones are communication tools. They realign family optics, reaffirm loyalties, and draw a bright circle around the new nucleus. In celebrity ecosystems, that message lands louder than any caption. If you're decoding the moment, study who officiates, who attends, and who is conspicuously absent. Those choices are curated. They tell you how the world and their families want to understand the hierarchy. If you value verified over viral, follow and drop verify in the comments.
The tight circle of certainty is the vow renewal happened on August 2, 2025. The couple posted photos. Peltz family members are visibly present. No Beckhams appear in those images. Beyond that, most of what you've seen are anonymous claims, second-hand interpretations, and social media forensics. Anchor your understanding to what's on the record first, then grade other items by evidence quality. When you hear a strong claim, ask, is there a named source, an attributable quote, or primary material I can examine? If not, keep it provisional until something on record upgrades the confidence. Unfollows, missing likes, and quiet feeds are circumstantial. They're also reversible. Social signals travel fast but carry weak evidentiary weight. They can reflect scheduling, strategy, or simple preference just as easily as they reflect conflict. Treat them as soft clues, not courtroom exhibits. The loudest narratives often outrun what anyone has actually said on the record. Upgrade your certainty only when multiple independent, reputable sources corroborate a claim, or when a principal makes a clear, attributable statement. Until then, resist the temptation to map platform silence onto private relationships with permanent ink. Weeks after the renewal, a late August report claimed David and Victoria are closer than ever amid the family turbulence. Around the same time, those yacht trip photos showed PDA and time with their younger children along the Amalfi-Portofino coast, images that project unity and calm. The photos are observable. The closer than ever line is an anonymous source assertion. Keep them in separate buckets. Pair what you can see with what is merely claimed. If anonymous sourcing aligns with consistent, independent behavior over time, it gains weight. If it doesn't, treat it as narrative seasoning, not the main course. Olive branches rarely look like press releases. They're small, ambiguous gestures you can miss if you blank. A birthday shout-out for Harper in early June, a friendly throwback, a comment liked and then forgotten. Tabloid reporting framed those moments as hopeful signals, while also admitting the larger relationship remains strained. That's how soft power reconciliation works. Test the temperature without forcing a meeting. One kind post won't rewrite months of tension, but it can lower the emotional volume just enough for a phone call to feel possible. Don't overread, but don't ignore. Tiny gestures matter.
When stories heat up, verbs do the damage. Snubbed, banned, exiled, cut off. Each word bakes in intent and assigns blame. Before you internalize a charged verb, downgrade it to a neutral description. Didn't attend, not pictured, no public message, no confirmed contact. That single swap forces your brain to separate behavior from motive and speculation from fact. It also makes new information easier to integrate because you haven't locked the cast into villain and victim too early. Rewriting the verbs won't change reality, but it will protect your reasoning. Precision is discipline. Two things can be true at once. Reports claim David and Victoria are closer than ever, and the yacht trip PDA with their younger kids projects visible unity. At the same time, a friend publicly labeled the wider family toxic, and Brooklyn appeared to endorse supportive comments under Nicola's renewal post. The brand machine thrives on consistency. The human layer often lags in pain and pride. Conflating the two is how audiences get whiplash. Keep them on separate tracks, and you'll read the next headline with clearer eyes. Brand and Bond diverge. One late summer tabloid exclusive claimed David and Victoria fear being cut off from future grandkids and might extend an olive branch to avoid that outcome. It also cited a prior birthday gesture as a positive sign, and even floated the idea of a stateside meeting. These are anonymous assertions about private intentions. They could be directionally true or narrative bait. I cannot confirm them. The emotional logic does track. Grandparent access can recalibrate even stubborn standoffs. But until someone on record says it, keep this in the low confidence drawer. Hopeful, not verified. Milestones can flip a script overnight. Birth announcements, award nights, festive holidays, or the drop of a new doc episode create natural on-ramps for cautious contact. They let both sides claim the moment and sidestep the blame by focusing on something bigger than the feud. If there's a turn toward repair, it will likely be wrapped in a milestone everyone can applaud without losing face. Don't be shocked if the story seems to change suddenly. Momentum needs a stage. What does a realistic next chapter look like? Not a grand summit, more like parallel, courteous moves. A neutral message here, a shared family update there, maybe a carefully leaked "we're open to talking" line from a named representative. Over time, that can evolve into a low-key meet, followed by a selective photo that says everything and nothing. Or it can stall. Either way, treat every claim as provisional until it's on the record or matched by consistent behavior. Flexible, not gullible.